and very good afternoon to everyone. So the topic for which was allotted me for today's talk was the research matrix, impact factor, H index, I10 index, and G index. But I thought there are a number of other matrices as well. So I have included number of other matrices as well in my presentation. So these four like impact factor, H index, I10 index, and G index would be there. But apart from that, there are a number of other matrices, tools, techniques are available for measuring the research impact. So I will try to cover all those matrices in my talk today. So friends, I found this topic very useful and important for the library fraternity as well as for the academicians like faculty, research scholars, and the people who are doing study or who are doing research in different fields. So I really found very important topic for all those. So this is one of the area where the faculty members should know what kind of tools and matrices are available to measure the research impact of those faculty members or research scholars. Apart from that, the librarians, they should also know what kind of tools, techniques, and matrices are available for measuring the research impact, productivity, and sustainability of author. So how they can play an important role in this direction, apart from the other areas. So the main purpose of this presentation is to give an overview about the concept of research metrics, research impact, various impact assessment tools, techniques, and methods. So the topic of today's presentation is research metrics for measuring the research impact for research publications. So this would be the topic for today's presentation. Yes, so this would be the outline. Like I will try to cover the research impact, what we are measuring, what kind of what are the research impact, how we are measuring, why we should assess the scholarly impact of research, why it is important. How do we measure the impact of research work? There are a number of techniques which I would like to cover. Then what is the researcher impact? Researcher impact and research impact, what is the relation in that? Then finally, I would like to cover the various metrics, methods, assessment tools, and techniques which are available. How we can measure the research impact and productivity and sustainability of author, I will also try to cover that. And finally, what is the role of libraries and librarians, which we can play a role in this direction. So friends, when a researcher is doing some research, it makes some impact on society, economy, and academia. So what is research impact? Research impact is demonstrable contribution that excellent research makes to the society and economy. Impact embraces all the extremely diverse ways in which research-related knowledge and skills benefited individuals, organizations, and nations, including academic, economic, and social impact. This is the definition which is given by the Research Council of UK about the research impact. What kind of research impact are there? There are many types of research impacts are there, which may have impact across the number of areas. It may be academic impact, it may be cultural impact, it may be social impact or policy impact, sometimes environmental impact and social impact also. So these are the different impacts which are there, which we need to measure. So friends, as we know that higher education system in India is increasingly becoming a global business now. Some of the parameters like total number of publications, number of citations, H index, quality of education, academic reputation, and so many other parameters are there which are playing an important role when we are talking about the branding of the institution, or we are talking about the ranking of the institutions. All these factors are playing a great role. Good number of points or weightages are given for these kind of various parameters, And good number of points are given for the quality research, its academic and social impact. So it is very important to measure the impact of research, because if the research scholars or faculty members, they are having high impact of research, definitely the institution where they are working, or the institutions where they are studying, it will impact directly to the institution. So it is very important to measure the impact of research. For measuring the impact, it is important to understand what kind of facilities, what kind of metrics, what kind of assessment tools and techniques are there. So we as a librarian should know. Now, what we are measuring? We are measuring number of things like quality of journal. Whenever we are publishing our papers, when we are publishing our research, we are looking for a quality journal. If we are publishing in a quality journal, definitely it will read by the number of peoples, and finally will get the number of citations. Then article reach, at what level our research article is reaching, what is the article reach, we are measuring that also. Article impact and influence, what kind of influence or impact is there when we are when the user is reading that paper or that article. Dissemination also, how we can disseminate our research more impactful manner, we should also try to measure that. And finally, the researcher impact, what kind of impact a researcher is playing in this direction. So what we are measuring, basically we are measuring, if you talk about the author, how author is being measured, basically the author is measured with the help of number of papers which he has published. If you talk about the quantity, when you talk about the quality, the number of citation is one of the parameter which is used for the measuring the author. Average number of citations per article, this is also one of the parameter which is used for measuring the author. How many citations a single paper has or single article has received. So these are some of the parameters which are used for measuring the authors, including the H-index. H-index H-index used for the for measuring the quality and quantity both for the authors. Next one is article. For measuring the articles, citation impact is very important. Other than citation impact, there are a number of other matrices which can be used for measuring the article's impact. So we will be talking about those matrices as well. Then we are measuring the journals. How we can measure a quality journal? So journal impact factor is one of that criteria. Apart from that, there are a number of other impacts, other parameters are there, like Is Jcr, site score, and number of other parameters. Now, why scholarly impact of research is required? Why it is required? Basically, it is required because it strengthens the CV for promotion or tenure. Whenever a faculty member is for the faculty member, when a promotion is due, or when he's applying for some other institutions for getting the other position, or for tenure position or something like that, they are asking about the number of papers, number of citations those paper has received, and also sometimes they are asking about the H-index and impact of the research. So it is important to measure the impact of research of an individual. Showing individual or collective productivity, how productive a author is. So if we are not analyzing the impact of research, we will not be able to understand the collective productivity or individual productivity of an author. Quantify research on investment of research for grant. Whenever we are doing research, we are getting, or researchers are getting research grant from number of institutions. It may be CSIR, or it may be ICSSR, or it may be some other agency. So they are getting the research grant for the research project. So they have to submit time to time the return on investment report. What kind of results are there? What kind of progress is there in the project. So at the same time, they have to publish the paper out of their research. So for quantifying the research or investment, we need to measure the research impact of individual author. For future funding, by the illustrating the value of research. So whenever any faculty member or research scholars, they're applying for funding for the project or for any kind of project, they need to submit the different kind of details to the that organization from where they are planning to get the fund. So this is also one of the thing. Because of that, we need to assess the research impact of research scholar. Identifying who is using your work and confirm that it is appropriately credited or not. So whenever we are analyzing the impact of research, we will be able to know who is using your research, whether it is appropriately credited or not, whether they are citing it or not. So you will be able to judge that as well. Identifying the collaborators within the outside of your discipline. Who are the other person who is citing your papers? You will be able to know while you are analyzing the impact of research. Benchmark self research group, department or institutions. So this is also one of the reason. Because of that, we are trying to get the impact of research. Showcase the network of collaborators. So if you want to find out the collaborators in your field or different fields, this is very much required. Now, how we are measuring the research impact? Initially, you might be aware that initially we were measuring the total number of publications. Based on the total number of publications, total number of citations, average citation per paper. So these were the criteria initially when we were trying to measuring the impact of research publications or impact of any researcher. But later on, it was found that these measures are not sufficient. These are not sufficient. So, this H index came into the picture, and some more matrices and advanced matrices comes into the picture. So, research matrix. So research impact is often measured using the quantitative method. There are a number of quantitative methods which are available for that. That may be the citation counts, that may be the H index and general impact factor. Currently, there is no single tool or systems where which can be used for getting the complete analysis. So each database or tools uses its different own measurement system. There are a number of measurements which are used for the measuring the impact. Each databases or tools has their own measurement system, which are or number of indices are there, data and authority files are there. Those are used for measuring the impact. And it is difficult to use these tools to compare across the disciplines. Sometimes it is very, very difficult to when you are comparing a research scholar from one field to another field. So sometimes it is little bit difficult to measure the impact. So what are the research matrices or tools which are used for measuring the impact? What is research matrix? Research matrix are measures used to quantify the influence or impact of scholarly work. Some examples are like there may be bibliometrics, there may be citation analysis, and there may be alt metrics as well. The alt metric is a tool which is used for getting the social impact of the publications, whereas the bibliometric or citation analysis is the method to analyze and track the scholarly literature. So these are the metrics which are used for analyzing the research. Using research metrics, we can assert your value, you can benchmark your career progress, you can communicate more effectively. Now, what are the research metrics which are available? Some of the more common metrics and tools you can use to measure your impact is, first thing is journal level metrics, second one is author level metrics, third one is article level metrics, and finally alt metrics. These are four things which we are trying to discuss during this lecture. So first thing is general level metrics. So when you talk about the general label matrix, first thing which is coming in the mind is the impact factor actually. So the general label matrix measure the quality of journal using citation formulas. There are a number of citation formulas which are used for getting the impact of journal. So one of that tool is the impact factor, which helps to track the citation patterns within the journal, and it determines which journal is highly cited in that field. So this is called the impact factor. Most of the journal label metrics are calculated from the pool of journals which are indexed in the two citation databases. First one is Web of Science, that database is from Clarivate Analytics, and another one is Scopus, which is from the Elsevier. So you can see this. This is one of the screenshot from the Web of Science, from where you can see this master journal list. So all the journals which are covered in this Web of Science, all the journals are having impact factor, and you can get that list of journals which are covered in the Web of Science using this master list option if you are subscribing Web of Science. Similarly, in this Scopus database, you will be having the one of the tab that is sources. So using the sources, you will be able to see what kind of, how many journals are covered in or how many journals are indexed in this Scopus database. So you will be able to know the different kind of details using this sources. But important thing is both these databases are commercial databases, and you should have the access for getting the details of journals or any details. If you want to access these sources, Scopus or Web of Science, you need to have subscription of these. Now coming to the impact factor, which is one of the tool for judging the quality of journal. Although there are number of other parameters as well, not only impact factor, there are number of parameters there which are used for judging a quality journal, but impact factor is one of that, out of that one criteria. So this impact factor was in early 1960, Irwin Escher and the Eugene Garfield, they created this journal impact factor to help select journals from the Science Citation Index. That was to help select journals for the Science Citation. When they were preparing this Science Citation Index, this impact factor was used for including the quality journals in that Science Citation Index. So initial purpose was that. But and it was expected by Garfield that it would be used constructively, while recognizing that in the wrong hands it might be abused. So this was the expectations from the Garfield, and the origin of this impact factor might be surprise to the peoples. Like, it was initially created to help the libraries. It was initially created to help the libraries to decide what kind of journals we should purchase. We should purchase quality journals. So initially, this was the big help for the libraries and librarians to select the quality journals for their library. And it was depending on how the articles are cited related to how often they are published. This allowed for highest quality of journals to be purchased for the libraries. Over a period of time, it was observed that slowly it was adopted as a means of evaluating the quality of research and their work. Initially, it was not meant for that, but slowly it moved. The peoples moved to find out the quality of researcher and their work. It was used for that purpose. Now, what is impact factor? Impact factor of a journal is a description of influence the journal has in the academic or university research circle. What kind of influence the journal has in academic or university research circle? It is the measure of how often the average research article in a journal has been cited or used in other research in many particular year. Impact factor is used to measure the importance of rank of journals by calculating the times of the article is cited. It attempts to quantify the importance of particular journal in field. So if you want to see the quality journal in particular field, impact factor can be one of the parameters for getting that journal. The higher impact factor journal means the quality of journal. If quality of journal is good, then it will have the quality. It will have the good impact factor. So higher impact factor journal impact factor means more influential. The journal is more influential. So journal metrics attempts to quantify or influence on given journal for purpose of comparison. It is used for that. It is one of the oldest and most widely used measure, which is used by different by the people for different purpose. Impact factor, which is generally known as general impact factor, which is generally known as impact factor, is the oldest one, which is already discussed. And the idea is that the more heavily cited journals must be more prestigious and attract higher quality papers. So this is one of the purpose. Please keep in mind that impact factor calculated every year, and it sometimes it increase for individual journal, sometimes it may decrease. It is not like that. Like if a journal is having the quality, the good number of good impact factor, it is not necessarily required that that the same publications will be having the same kind of impact factor next year as well. So we should know how this impact factor is being calculated. So number of citations to a journal in a given year from the article. So basically what is happening when we are calculating the impact factor, we need to have 2 years data in hand whenever we are calculating the impact factor. So so there is some formula which is used for calculating. Suppose we want to calculate the impact factor for 2020. What we are doing is the total number of citations which are received in 2018 and 19. We will be dividing those citations by the total number of articles published in these 2 years. So if you want to calculate impact factor for any journal for 2020, all those papers which are published in 18-19, the total number of citations which those papers has received in 2020. So those citations will be there, and those citations will be divided by the total number of papers which are published in that particular journal in 18 and 19. So this would be the formula for calculating the impact factor of an individual journal. So this is the formula. Please keep in mind that you should never directly compare impact factor of 2 journals which are different, which are from the different subjects. So you cannot compare the impact factor of 2 journals. If you are comparing the journal from different disciplines, you have to compare that particular journal in that particular discipline only, because the citation pattern is different. The total number of papers which they are including is different, and the area has different kind of citations impact. So you should not be comparing the 2 journals of different disciplines. So when if you are having the access of this Web of Science, you can see these are the products from the Clarivate Analytics, like Web of Science, Insights, Journal Citation Report, EndNote, and a number of other things. So if you are subscribing this, you will be having this tab, but you will not be able to access the JCR. In short form, this is known as JCR, unless you are not having the subscription of that. So you need to subscribe the JCR to get the impact factor report of the journals. So this is the example of the JCR, Journal Citation Report, which can get from the different sources. If you don't have subscription, you can get the JCR, last year JCR from different sources. But if you want to subscribe, if you want to access the current JCR or Journal Citation Report, you should have the access of that JCR. So what is JCR? This is one of the authoritative source of journal level metrics from Clarivate Analytics. The publisher is same, who is publishing the Web of Science. that is the publisher for JCR also. So this JCR is they are releasing sometime in August or July or August month of every year. So if you want, in this year in 2021, the new JCR will be launched by this Clarivate Analytics in sometime or August or July or August. So this is one of the authoritative source. JCR provide the quantitative tools for ranking, evaluating, categorizing, and the comparing the journals. There is, if you see this platform of JCR, there are a number of options which are there, which can be used for comparing the journals in the individual field, and to know for helping the peoples how the journal is impactful in that particular field. So impact factor for journal may be found in JCR, which can be used for that. JCR is based on the journals index in the Web of Science core collection and comprises of 2 editions. As you know that there are a number of indexes which are there from the Web of Science. Like one is the Science Citation Index, that is also known as Web of Science core collection. And for social science, the social science citation index is there, art index is there, and number of other indexes are there. So there is no JCR. Please keep in mind there is no JCR for humanity journals which are published in humanities. The journal may advertise its impact factor on its website through the claim should be verified, because what is happening number of times, the faculty members or the budding research scholar, they are not aware about the JCR. So sometimes there are a number of fake journals or predatory journals. They are claiming that we have the impact factor of so and so, but it should not be. It should be verified through the JCR. JCR only a source from where you can get the impact factor of journal. There is no other source for getting the journal impact factor of a individual journal. So definitely you should be verifying before publishing your research in any of the journal. So as I discussed that there is no impact factor report or no impact factor for the humanities journal, as well as for the conference proceedings. So if you are having access of this JCR, it will look like this. You can see this. This is the home page of this JCR. Whenever you are searching any kind of the impact factor for any journal, you will be getting the this kind of screen, like general engineering, electrical and electronic. Like you can search the journals in different disciplines, and within the discipline you can search the impact factor. And also you can search the impact factor by journal wise or alphabetical or year wise. So if you don't have access of JCR, current JCR, what you can do is I was searching this JCR on internet, so I found that the ResearchGate is one of the source from where you can get the last year's JCR. So this is freely available, and you can use this JCR for getting the impact factor of any journal for last year. But for this year impact factor or the current year impact factor, you will have to subscribe the JCR for your library. So there are a number of other matrices as well for journals, like site score is there. These are the Scopus based matrix. Site score as SGR indicators, SNIP, which is also known as source normalized impact per paper. So these 3 matrices are taking data from the Scopus, and the impact factor, general impact factor or JCR, those matrices are taking data from the Web of Science. So when you talk about the JCR, site score, what is site score? Basically, when you talk about the impact factor of journal or GIF, generally GIF is taking the data for 2 years. It's taking the data for 2 years, whereas site score is taking data for 3 years. So if you want to calculate the site score for any journal for 2015, what you have to do is you should have the data for 14, 13, and 12. So this is 3 years window whereas this GIF is 2 years window. But important thing is in site score, it counts all the document, whereas in impact factor, it counts only the journal papers, but site score counts all the papers because there are chances to get the citations for other papers as well. So it covers all kind of documents when they are calculating the site score. So it calculates the average number of citations received in a calendar year by all the items published in a journal in preceding 3 years. So there is the window of last 3 years. Site score is independent of the document classification type. So there is no, all the documents are covered in that. So you can see this journal paper. This is one of the screenshot of this ACTA biomaterial. This is one of the journal. So you can see this. They are mentioning the impact factor from Web of Science as well as the site score from the Elsevier. So this can be decided based on the site score and impact factor, how impactful this journal is. Now coming to the SJR, SJR is also one of the indicator from the Elsevier, which is based on the which is taking the data from Scopus. So it measures the prestige of individual journal, how prestigious a journal is, and given the weightage to the citations, from where these citations are coming from, because there are a number of sources from where these citations are coming. Citations from the more prestigious journals will get the, if you want that my SGR should be higher, then citations from the higher prestigious journals should come. And if the prestige of journal is low, then it means it will have the lower SGR. An important thing is citations from important journal will count as more than one citation. If it is coming from the important journal, then there would be a complete one citation. But if it is coming from the less important journal, then it counts less than one citation. So this is the calculation which is there for calculating the SGR for individual journal. SGR uses the 3 years window similar to the site score. They are also using the 3-year citation windows. To raise the SGR, there is no shortcut. You need to publish in more reputed journals. So if you want that SGR should be higher, then you should be publishing in more reputed journals. There is no shortcut. So this is the screenshot of this SJR. So they are providing the journals rank, country rank. So because of that, it is known as Sai Bagu journal and country ranking. So this is freely available. You can get the ranking of different journals or country using this platform of Elsevier. Now next one is SNIP, that is known as source normalized impact per paper. This matrix is also taking data from the Scopus. And why it is used basically, since there are a number of other matrices, or there are 2 matrices from Elsevier, then why this SNIP is required? This SNIP is required because I'm talking since my 5-6 slides that you cannot compare the journals from one discipline to another one. But SNIP is one of the source which normalizes for differences in citation behavior of different subject fields. So you can compare the journal in different fields using this SNIP. SNIP weighted the citations based on the total number of citations in particular subject and number of citations in the present year to publications in the past 3 years. It also takes data for last 3 years and normalizes to correct for difference between scientific fields. So if you want to compare 2 journals of different fields, this SNIP can be used for that purpose. This slide gives the complete detail about these 6 journal level matrices, the impact factor, site score, SJR and SNIP, what it measures, how it is calculated, and from where you can get it. So this slide gives you the complete detail of that. Now coming to the H5 index means Google Scholar matrices are there for journals. So H5 index is one of the index which is from the Google Scholar, and H5 index is the H index for articles published in last five complete years. The publication that had 5 articles but only 3 had at least 5 citations or more than or more would be an H5 of 3. So this H is the largest number of articles that have each been cited H times. So this is H5 index of the Google Scholar, which is used for that purpose. When you visit the Google Scholar, you will find the details of different matrices which are there from the Google, some of the other matrices are there, like immediacy index or general cited half-life is there, general immediacy index is there, 5 years general back factor is there. So there are a number of other matrices are there which are used for getting the for judging the impact of a individual journal. Now coming to the author label matrix, this is also one of the important metrics, how we can measure the impact of an author. So H index is one of that kind of measure which can be used for measuring the impact of an author. The H index attempts to measure an author impact over a period of time. It measures the bibliographic impact and productivity of individual author or researcher. It was launched by the George E. Harris in 2005. H-index is the best known and most widely used metrics for getting the impact of individual author. It was introduced by J. Harris in 2005. This is one of the index to quantify an individual scientific research output. It is used for measuring the both quantity and quality of an author. H-index measure both the quality and quantity, also the productivity and impact of publications of individual author. It reflects both the number of publications and the number of citations per paper. It also measures the quality and sustainability of scientific output, as well as, to some extent, the diversity of scientific research. H-index measure both the productivity and the impact of publications of individual author. So what is the definition of H-index? We should know that. A scholar with an index of H has published H paper, each of which has been cited to other papers at least H time. This is the definition which was given by the J. Harris in 2005. So H-index simultaneously measured the quality and sustainability of authors. Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar all display H-index for the authors. When we talk about the Scopus or Web of Science, they are automatically generating the these H-index of the author, H-index of the institutions. Even if you talk about the Google Scholar, it also gives you the automatic H-index of individuals. But it is meaningful when you are comparing to others within the same discipline and career stage. If you are comparing the young research scholar or budding research scholar with the experienced faculty member, I think this is not the right way, because the academic life of a faculty member is long. But when you are comparing with the budding research scholar, definitely the H-index of that scholar will not be at that level. So you should not compare. You should not use H-index for comparing the experienced faculty members versus the young research scholars. A scholar with an H-index of H published H papers has each of which has been cited at least H times. This is the definition which was given to by the H. Now coming to some of the examples, like how you can see this this screen. This author has published 207 papers and received 1,623 citations. His H-index is 20 because his 20 papers has received at least 20 or more citations. So because of that, his H index is 20. Okay, so it is very simple definition, and interpretation is also very simple. So if an H index of, if you tell that author has 10 H index, it means his 10 papers has received at least 10 or more citations. It is very simple calculation. Like in this screen, you can see this author has published 8 papers, and it has number of citations as well. So his 6 papers has at least 6 citations, so his H index is 6. From where you can find H index from Web of Science, Scopus, or Google Scholar. This is the example of this is screenshot from the Scopus database. You can see this paper, this author has published, this author has 52 H index. He has published about 269 papers and received about 10,300 citations. His H index is 52 because you can see this yellow line. His 52 papers has received at least 52 or more citations. Because of that, his H index is 52. Similarly, in Web of Science as well, you can see this. This author has 906 publications and received this 13,609 citations. His H index is 55. So this comes like this. You can see H index. This blue line is there because his 55 papers have received 55 or more citations. So this is how this H index is automatically calculated by the Web of Science or Scopus. You can also see this Google Scholar. You will find the H index, item index, or citations of individual. There are a number of matrices. What you need to do is you have to create your Google Scholar profile to get these matrices. So what is the simple way to calculate this H index? What you have to do is, suppose you have published 50 papers. So just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 50 in one column, and other column, what you have to do is you should be putting the total number of citations in descending order. So when these both numbers are matching in both the columns, that would be your H index. So for judging the author level matrix, Publish or Paris software is also one of the measuring the author level matrix or measuring the author. So this is one of the free software designed to help the individual academics to present their case for research impact to best advantages. It retrieves and analyzes the academic citations. Publish or Paris uses the Google Scholar and Microsoft Academic Search to retrieve the citations, which can then be analyzed to present a variety of author matrices, including the H index. So this is Publish and Paris software, which is used for this. Item index is another matrix which is used by the Google Scholar. So how it is calculated? The number of publications which has at least 10 citations. So if your publications, you sort out all the publications which are having 10 or more citations. So that would be your item index. It is created by Google Scholar automatically, and it has the Google's My Citation feature as well. Very simple, free and straightforward to calculate, but only used in Google Scholar. It doesn't used by other tools. Item index is calculated only by the Google Scholar. Now, what is G index? G index is also one of the index which is used, and it was proposed by Leo H in 2006 as an improvement of H index for measuring the global citations performance of a set of articles. It index for quantify productivity in science based on the publication records. It also assists the H index and gives more weightage to the highly cited papers. So how it is calculated? Basically, G index defines the unique largest number that the top G papers together receive G square or more citations. We will see some of the examples in next slides. It is calculated by ranking a set of articles in decreasing order of the number of citations that occur. G-index corresponds to the highest rank which the calculates the citations count to equal to the higher than the squared rank. It is not widely accepted as H-index. H-index is widely accepted by the peoples. So this is one of the example. You can see this author has published these 9 papers and received number of citations. So you can see this. His H index is 7 because his G square paper is matching sometime the citations. What you have to do is where the number of sum of citations and the G square citations, G squares of the paper both are matching. That would be the G index of individual author. Whereas in this slide, you can also see the H index of this author. The H index of this author is 5 because his 5 papers has received 5 or more citations. So because of that, the H index of this author is 5, whereas the G index of author is 7 because the G square or the G square rate is 49, which is matching with the number of citations, that is 61. So since these both are about to match, because of that, this is 7. Similarly, for this author as well, he has written 10 papers. His H index is 6. So in this slide, you can see the comparison of H index and IT index, how this, what these two indexes are measured and how you can calculate and what are the limitations of that. One thing you should always keep in mind that H index, about the H index, that H index is the lifetime achievement of an individual, and it always increases, it never decreases. Like in case of impact factor, it increase or decrease sometime based on the citations. But if you have your H index, currently H index 2 or 3 or 5, it will definitely never decrease. That is the lifetime achievement of an individual, and it always increase with your citations and will only increase, it never decrease. So you should keep in mind that. There are a number of institutional matrices as well. So these institutional matrices are measure the institution's overall impact. So these are little bit costly resources. One is insights, which is from the Clarivate Analytics, and the second one is Cybele, and there are a number of other matrices as well, which are used for measuring the institution's overall impact. These, if you talk about the insights, it will give you different kind of reports. You can compare different departments of the university. You can compare different universities in terms of the different kind of fields. The citation-based evaluation tool, this is one of the citation-based evaluation tool. It analyzes the institutional productivity and benchmark output against the peers. It allows to compare the institutions, people's, group, etc. in different measures. And a product of Clarivate Analytics, it is costly resource which cannot be subscribed by all the universities. Cybele is also one of the costly resource which is used for the same purpose, for the purpose of this insight is used. So it is used by the same purpose for visualizing the research performance and benchmarking the peers and the institutions. Now coming to the article level metrics. So article level metrics is also very important because what kind of articles or the papers we are publishing, how these papers are being used by the peoples for different purpose. So article level metrics article level metrics, citation based metrics and alt metrics, these are the things which measure the impact of individual research publications. So how many time an article has been cited, how it is tracking in social media. We will be able to understand the papers which are tracking in social media, how they are impacting to the society. What is the geographical distribution of citing papers? What is the disciplinary distribution of citing papers? What is the impact outside the scholarly community? Because citations and that things. These are the sources which are giving you the only the academic impact, but you should know the social impact as well. This slide will give you the complete detail about different kind of matrices, like for journal level matrix, what kind of metrics are available for the article level matrix or author level matrix, what are the metrics which can be used for institution or country, what kind of matrices are used for different purpose. So this slide will give you the complete flow chart about the matrices. Now we should know what are the issues in either H-index or citations or some other matrices, because we are moving towards the alt matrix tools. So we should know what are the issues which are there when we talk about the H-index or site score or any other metrics. So impact factor or H-index are completely depending on the citations. So if you are getting good number of citations, it will increase. If you are not getting citation, it will decrease. So citation count can affect in number of ways. That number of ways means there is no single source of comprehensive. We talk about this Web of Science or Scopus. There is about 35 to 40% duplication in the sources. So from where you will be calculating the H-index or citation index, because when you search an individual author, the H-index or item index would be different. H-index would be different if you search Web of Science or Scopus or Google Scholar. So there is no single source of comprehensive from where you get the H-index of the peoples or the institutions. Publications date or years may also affect, because what is happening, if you talk about the Web of Science or the Scopus, they have different kind of publication year, or sometime different kind of this citation year. So you will not be getting the same kind of results from the databases. If you talk about the Web of Science, it was published it was published in 1963 by the ISI. Earlier it was India Citation Index. Now it is Clarivate Analytics. It covers about 11,500 journals, whereas the Scopus, it covers about 18,000 journals. So you cannot compare both these sources. There is no proper source. Apart from that, if you talk about the Science Citation Index, it provides you the data from 1972 till now, whereas the Scopus, the source data is back from the 1960. So because of that, you cannot compare these two things. If you talk about this Scopus database, the citations data is only available for the papers which are published from 1996 onwards. So you will not be getting the citations if your paper is published in 1995, because this Scopus database is taking the citation data only after 1996. So these are some of the issues in these two databases, and there are a number of other limitations as well. So these publication dates may affect the results. Definitely these may be affect in the results. The frequency of journals may also affect the results, because sometime it is annual publications, sometime journal has different kind of frequency of publication. So this may affect the citations or the H-index. Research measures across the disciplines may also differ. This is also one of the thing. Because of that, this may be one of the issue when we are talking about the impact factor or H-index. Next is impact factor was never meant to be used as a quality measure for the researchers. I was initially discussing about this, that using Garfield, he has not come out, he has not introduced the impact factor for this purpose, but it was slowly used for the accessing the impact of the peoples. Distribution of citations is highly skewed. And another important thing is, this is the proprietary of one of the publisher, that is the Clarivate Analytics, which calculates the impact factor. and coverage is also one of the limitations. If we talk about the H-index, what is the limitation? The H-index limitation is you cannot compare the productivity of younger research scholar with experienced research scholars. I've already discussed about this. You cannot compare these scholars working in different disciplines or different fields. This is also one of the limitation of H-index. Different databases has a different kind of H-index or H-score. It is depending on the coverage. If you talk about Web of Science, it will has different, and Scopus will have different. There are some other issues which should be considered, like once an article is published in different tools, keep track of number of times article is cited. Number of citations are very useful, but it should not be only the criteria which is used to evaluate the impact of an author. There are a number of other criteria as well, which should be used for evaluate the impact of an author. Please note that I tried to point out some of the things, like articles in the medical field are cited the most. If you go through the articles which are published in medical field, these articles will be cited more in comparison to the papers or articles which are published in other field. Science articles also tend to have high rates of citations. Humanities and social science articles are cited the least. Many articles are never cited. I will try to cover this aspect about the citations on tomorrow's lecture. There are a number of papers. I got some data from Web of Science that there are about 39 or 40%, about 39 or 40% of journals or papers which are never cited, which were never cited. So many articles are never cited. Self-citations may affect the total number of citations record. Some articles are cited soon after the original publications, but others may not be cited for the further 5 years or 10 years. So you will be always waiting for the citations. So altmetrics may provide some solutions to measure the impact, right? Because you need not wait for 5 years or 10 years. Altmetrics is one of the source which can provide immediate reactions of the people. Okay, so altmetric, what is altmetric? Altmetric will provide the academic impact as well as the societal impact of the papers which you have published. This is one of the alternative metrics to traditional. Traditional means H-index, impact factor, and other matrices that include the social bookmarking, academic blogs, social media mentions, and so many other things. It measures and monitors the reach and impact of research through online interactions. There may be social media mentions, there may be data sets, there may be websites, there may be blog posts, and number of other things. So all these things are covered in this in this altmetrics. So altmetrics is basically alt plus matrix. So this is one of the alternative metrics which was introduced by the Jason Priam in 2010, which is also known as alternative metrics or article label metrics. Number of publishers they are using now. This altmetrics is used by number of publishers. Big publishers like Wiley, Elsevier, Springer, Nature, number of publishers they are using now. So altmetrics is basically the study and use of scholarly impact measure based on the activity in online tools and environment. This is altmetrics. So what this Jason Priam defined in 2005, altmetrics are meant to complement. This is not a replacement. This is not a replacement. This is one of the complement to the H-index or citations, or you can say the impact factor. This is one of the complement. This is not totally replacing the traditional measures, different measures which we were traditionally using or we are using that. This is altmetrics as a subset of webometrics, and simply altmetrics are metrics beyond the traditional metrics. So altmetrics are not alternative to citations. We will be using those things, but this is what we are currently using. So What Altmetrics addresses? Altmetrics basically addresses how many times uh, someone has downloaded your article, who is reading your work, has it been covered by the news outlets, who is commenting on the work, how it is being shared in social media, which countries are looking for my work. These are the things which can be answered by these automatic tools. These automatic tools taking the data from the usage, captures, mentioned, social media, citations. So if we talk about the usage, they are taking data from different sources, maybe PubMed Center, it may be Fixshare, it may be HTML views or some others. We talk about the captures. It captures the Mendeley readers group and some other mentions, which are mentions in blog posts, news stories, Wikipedia, or comments or reviews. When you talk about the social media, it is tracking the all the mentions of tweets or Google Plus or Facebook likes or shares or ratings. When you talk about the citations, it is taking data from the Web of Science, Scopus, Crossref, PubMed Central, or Microsoft Academic Searches. Altmetrics data is aggregated from number of sources. It may be from the Mendeley or Close One, GitHub, or SlideShare, Fixshare. Number of sources or aggregators are there for Altmetrics. And it is taking data from resources like website or social media or bookmarking or reference management tools. Now, why we are using this Altmetrics? Basically, there is increasingly understanding that scholarly research has moved beyond the printed pages. It is not limited to the printed pages, and that traditional measure of impact are not adequate. Sometimes we found that all the measures which we were using are not adequate. So these automatic tools came into the picture. Secondly, the citations are only a small part of scholarly ecosystem, right? This is citations are not only the giving the complete picture of impact. So citations are only the part of scholarly ecosystem and only represent one type of impact, academic impact. Whereas this Altmetrics is providing you the complete impact of your paper. Since most of the research, including journal articles, are now available in electronic format and networked also, we can track how many times they are accessed, used, and shared using these Altmetrics tools. These numbers provide a more complete picture of reach and impact of research and scholarship. Whereas in case of citations, we were not getting all those things. That goes beyond the citations in peer-reviewed publications. So we are using this Altmetric tools to measure the researchers and research work, for demonstrate the valuable non-academic engagement and societal value, provide the evidence in your applications for promotion and tenure. Sometime when you are applying for some of the positions or getting the data, it is required. Understand and join the public conversation. Find out the research interest and gaps. Discover non-traditional output as well. What kind of non-traditional outputs are there you will be getting from the Altmetrics. Why we are using Altmetrics? This is because already we have discussed about this. There are a number of Altmetric tools like altmetric.com, Impact Story, Close Article Level Metrics, Flummox, Reader Meter, Science Card, Paper Centric, Crowdometer. There are a number of Altmetric tools which are used by different publishers and the stakeholders. So first thing is altmetric.com. Altmetric.com is one of the Altmetric tools which are widely used by the publishers, and initially it was started in 2011, and their aim was to make article level metrics easy. Individual users and librarians can use the automatic.com as a free account, while a commercial license is required in case of publishers or funders or the institutions. So automatic score is a quantitative measure of the quality and quantity of attention that a scholarly article has received through social media. It will give you the complete picture of social media mention. This is the screenshot from automatic.com. What it is giving, basically it is giving which area, which is the highly discussed research area. It will give you the detail about that. It also gives every year top 100 most discussed research area or subject field. So what is top 100? You can download those articles which are highly discussed. This is how it looks like. Suppose any article is getting the one tweet, then you will be getting that detail. Similarly for 14 dimensions, 106 Mendel likes, all these things are there. Second one is impact story. This is also widely used by the peoples now. This is also known as total impact. This is an open source software or open access tool, open source tool, which is using the ORCID ID to find out the data and import scholarly work. ORCID we'll discuss tomorrow in detail when we talk about the visibility or the impact of research publications. We'll talk about this ORCID tomorrow. It aggregates impact data from many sources, from Mendeley to GitHub and Twitter and many more. So this is widely used, and account can be synchronized with the ORCID. It will automatically update your record, and it uses more than a dozen of APIs to search the matrix. So it looks like this. Next one is closed article level matrix. This is one of the projects which was started in 2009. It tracks the citations or social web activity of PLOS articles. Public Library of Science, that is PLOS, all the papers which are published by the PLOS, those are captured. So this article level matrix comprise the data point that captures in different ways all the reads saved or shared with others or commented by others or cited. These are the 5 areas from where it takes the data. Looks like this. Next one is Flummox Matrix. This Flummox Matrix is also very important. It measures the individual work of researcher. It divides the type of interactions into 5 categories, taking the data from 5 different categories. But important thing is this is not available freely. This is available by a subscription, and this is integrated by all the resources of Elsevier products. Like it may be Scopus, it may be Science Direct, it may be the Cybel, and also Pure. So all these products are integrated with this Flummox matrix. So it takes care of all the citations, usage, captures, mention, and social media. So these are the 5 things which are incorporated in all the products of Elsevier Science. When you search Scopus or Science Direct, you will be getting the data. Like this is one of the article from the Scopus. You can see this, all 6 things are there: citations, usage, captures, mention, social media mentions, and this is the sign which is specially signed for the Flummox matrix. This is another article from the Science Direct. This is another article from Scopus. You can see this, all these 6 things are there, and Flummox matrix is integrated with the article. Science Card is also one of the source. Reader Meter, which is the source for getting this article level matrix. Crowdometer is another source for getting the this article level metrics. It is web-enabled service which display the tweets, linking, and scientific articles, and also allow users to add semantic information for the betterment of digital services among the users. Paper-centric is also one of the one of the highly used metrics, Altmetrics tool, which offers researchers to process the and of monitoring all type of feedback about their research work in exhaustively and expeditiously and pinpointedly manner. Apart from this, it is also allowing every research scholars to easily review the research work of others in a relevant field or subfield. Now, where do altmetrics come from? So first, who and what, who have adopted this altmetrics? So first thing is publishers. We have already discussed about that. That number of publishers, they have integrated these altmetric tools in their products, in their journals. Some of the publishers provide altmetric on their websites to author and the public. Many large publishers are now collecting usage data or are partnering with the other companies to provide this information to the users. PLOS has been leading in providing altmetrics to both readers and the author. PLOS is the Public Library of Science, who is the publisher for providing the open access journals. They are publishing number of open access journals and they are using the altmetric tools. Each article they publish has a metrics section which provides wealth of information. So this is one of the source. Second source is the digital repositories. Many digital repositories provide authors with a dashboard that shows the statistics about their work in the repository. These statistics are separate from the statistics gathered from the publishers. So if you are archiving your work in digital repository, make sure that you take these into account. There is one repository which is the Elsevier. They have come out with the product like Digital Commons. They have integrated the Flummox Matrix with this Elsevier tool. Likewise, in other tools of Elsevier, they have integrated this Flummox Matrix. So these are some of the examples from different journals page, like Springer Link. You can see all kind of the altmetrics scores are there. Similarly, in the Nature publishers, in Frontiers, Springer Link, you can see all these are integrated with the altmetrics. Now, please keep in mind some of the things like research metrics don't replace the traditional ways. We have already discussed about that. There would be the peer reviewing process. There would be the research funding, practical applications, etc. We simply provide additional data to make impact or more accurate and meaningful. This is only the purpose of these altmetrics. So research metrics must be considered in context. Any direct comparison should be made carefully. If you are making any kind of comparison, you should be making it very carefully. A researcher's field of study as well as the career length, researcher will highly affect the citations and the attention, the work they have received. Research metrics are not universal. They are limited to the data set from which they are drawn. Citations count is various citation database will differ, and definitely the different metrics tracks the data from different sources. Always include the source of any impact metrics you are reporting. If you are reporting any kind of data in any kind of reports where you are filling up this data, please don't forget to mention the source of that data. Otherwise, it may be misinterpreted as well. So there is altmetric score, which is generated, and important thing is altmetrics uses the DOI. Whenever your publication is published, DOI is generated, and that is the thing which is used by getting the altmetric score. I'm not going in detail. So there are a number of benefits to the publishers, institutions, and the authors. Like for publishers, they can easily identify the most popular content. Automatic tools report back to the key stakeholders, attract new submission. For the institution, it attracting the additional funding, recruitment and reviewing they are using for that, effective reputation management and benchmarking the institution. So they are using now these alternative tools. For research scholars, identifying the most effective journal, they are using automatic tool for that. Seek out collaborators, showcase influence of individual journal, monitor and track the early engagements. These are some of the benefits for the research scholars. For the research and development there are a number of benefits, like analyze the reach of your research, at what level your research is reaching. That can be easily analyzed using these automatic tools. Understand your audience, make data-driven decisions. So these are some of the importance for the different stakeholders. So TOI is very important for identifying the automatics. Most automatics identifying from the TOI. Now, I would like to say that there are a number of things which are there in line, but we should know what is our role. Our role is well defined. We can play an important role in this direction. Libraries have been contributing to the institute learning and research activities in various ways. This is already well known by the people. All the academic activities in these institutions are directly or indirectly related to the library. We usually support the research scholars in their various information needs and influence the process of scholarly output, providing quality material and services to the scholars. So we are providing good quality material to the peoples, good quality resources to the students, or providing the access of quality databases, research support tool or data management tool or reference management tool like Mendeley, Jotaro or Grammarly. These kind of tools definitely will help the users for getting the good automatic tools or automatic score or impact factor of the journals. So what we can do is library can facilitate the faculty member by making them available high quality content of resources. Library can help research scholars to disseminate their research findings and improve their research impact. What we can do is we can provide the data from the different sources for filling up the ranking data in different questionnaires. Whenever any questionnaires are coming to the institutions or the colleges for participating in the ranking, they need data. Actually, they need data, and sometimes we know that sometimes we are the member of some ranking process or ranking committees, and we are the right person for providing the data of publications of the individual institution. So we can help the institution or university to filling up the ranking data. Other thing what we can do is we can help we can select the quality journals. We can select quality journal using the SJR or using the site score or using the impact factor. We can create a list of journals in different fields, and we can make it available through our different sources to the faculty members and research scholars, that these are the top 15 or 20 journals in your field, and you can publish your research in these journals, because if they are publishing in good quality journal, then definitely they will be getting the good citations, the impact, and also the visibility of their research. Apart from that, what we can do is we can provide the JCR, like I discussed in my earlier slide, that JCR for last year JCR, it is freely available on the sources, different sources. So if you are not subscribing JCR for current year, at least what you can do as a librarian, you can provide JCR of last year to your faculty members. So at least, because there is not much difference in the impact factors of every year. So there might be difference, but it is not slight difference. So you can at least provide the JCR, last year JCR to your faculty members. Other thing what we can do is we can time to time the faculty members or research scholar, they want the H-index, or sometimes they want citations, total number of citations when they are applying for the funding in the funding institutions. So they need that impact factor, citations or H-index. So we can help them to provide that as well. Next thing is what we can do is we can help the peoples in publishing in open access journal platform, because there are a number of open access journal from different publishers, and we are the right person to provide the information to them that these are the journals which are available in open access in your field, and we are the right person to resolve the APC related issues. APC is article processing fee. Sometimes the faculty members are facing the problem for this APC article processing fee related issues. So we are the person who can help the faculty members in this regard, because we have good relations with the publishing industries, because we are subscribing different resources. So we can help in this direction as well. We can, as a librarian, academic or creative writing workshop or publishing workshops can be organized, which are regularly organized by some of the institutions. This is one of the area which we can work. One important thing is awareness on predatory publications or plagiarism. This is one of the area which is highly in demand now, because there are a number of predatory publications which are available in the market, and sometimes the budding scholars, they are not able to judge whether this is the right publications or not. Bibliometric support, definitely we should provide that, and also the library outreach activities. Time to time we should provide the outreach activity. We should organize the library outreach activities. So I would like to say that the role of the library or library is well established. And various open access and academic research support tools and services can also be carried out the academic community to make library services more vibrant and innovative. So libraries need to be proactive and need to play an important role. We need to play an important role in helping the research scholars to measure the research impact and help in getting the access or impact of their work. So whatever help we can do, we should help the people and in getting the different kind of data from different sources. So this is one of the quote. I would like to end my lecture with this quote from the Albert Einstein, that not everything that counts can be measured, not everything that can be measured counts. This was said by the Albert Einstein. At the end, I would like to acknowledge all the sources from where I have taken the data from the internet for my this lecture, for preparing this lecture. Even I've taken a number of slides from my previous lectures as well. So I would like to acknowledge all those sources, and I've tried to put the resources or sources in the slides, but sometimes it might be missed somewhere. But since I'm delivering it for the academic purpose, I acknowledge all the sources, and this is end from my side. Thank you very much once again for inviting me. Now.